Hello, beautiful people. This is Milena. Last week, we talked about how to use the power of our own words to program our reality. And today, we're going to talk about how we can use the power of our own words to help influence and facilitate the creation of reality of others. Now, I need to open a bracket here and say that we, each and every one of us, is the ultimate authority in the creation of our reality. That doesn't mean that we cannot co-create or assist each other in one way or another. Now, I'm recording this with the presumption that if you want to have an influence on somebody else's reality, it is a positive one. Because if that's not the case, please hit pause or stop and don't watch any further. However, if you do want to have a positive influence on somebody, and here I have to open another bracket and say, this is not about saving another person. This is not about seeing them as a victim. This is not about they can't do it, so I need to help them. It is simply how we can hold the highest, most positive vision of that person, and how when we use our expression, if we are going to say something to them or about them anyway, how to do it in the most empowering and positive way, how to share our perspective in a positive way. Because just like the words that we say to ourselves or about ourselves have an effect on our reality, the words that we say to others and about others have the potential of having an impact, having an effect, especially when those people are open to external influences. Again, it's very, 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 very important that our intent, the vantage point that we're coming from, the reason why we want to do this is not because we're seeing them as a victim or because we want to save them or because we think that they can't do it. None of those things are true, and they would have not only a negative impact on them, but on you as well if you try to do that. However, when we're interacting with someone and we see certain things, what we choose to say or do does have power. One of the biggest ways in which this expresses and manifests is our children, because they see it as authority. They have chosen us as their guides, somebody who ushers them into that reality and teaches them stuff. And very often we have negative suggestions to program their reality using our negative suggestions. You're gonna fall. You're gonna rip your clothes off. You're gonna get sick if you don't do this. So why are we doing that? We're doing it because we're afraid that that might happen unless they follow what we've told them to follow as a precaution. So instead of saying that though, because the kids can choose to accept our negative suggestion, make it their own, and actually create the very thing that we're telling them, what is way more beneficial to do is to say, please be mindful of the stairs. You might want to be careful when you climb that ladder, for example. Now, this draws their attention that it might be something different from their usual kind of route that they take, and they might need some extra attention to it, but it doesn't give them the negative suggestion that they're going to break a leg if they go on it. Or you can say, well, please check the weather, maybe go to the balcony just to check the temperature or go outside for a second, but make sure that your body is dressed appropriately and it's comfortable and warm, and not, if you don't take your jacket, you're gonna get sick. When we give suggestions later on in life, well, I think if you study this or if you go for that, I don't think you'll be financially successful in any way. I don't think you'll be able to make enough money to support yourself. All of those things are negative suggestions. Why would we want to offer that for them to program their reality with? We might say, well, check and test and see how interested you really are. How does that feel? Have a vision and a test run in your own mind 10 years from now. See yourself doing that. How does that feel? And what does that do? It puts the responsibility on them, and that's extremely empowering because you're telling them that you trust their own judgment of it, but you're also creating the opportunity for them to be mindful, to focus on it, to look and see. Even if it's not our kids, when we talk to others and somebody shares something with us, we can say, well, you can't do that, or I don't think that's going to work out for you really well, or I don't see that project going anywhere. I don't think that's wise from a financial perspective. I think you should, have a way to protect yourself, and all of those, again, although we might think it's good protective advice of our friends, may constitute a negative suggestion. Now, one of the most powerful things that we can do for others when we speak to them or about them is to hold the vision of the most successful, happy, aware, empowered version of themselves. And to really, really hold it in your mind's eye, in your intent, in your awareness. And if you are struggling with certain interactions or want to learn more about how you can influence others in a positive way, as well as yourself, book a session at askmilena.com. Remember to subscribe to my newsletter as well as the channel if you have not done so, and click on the bell so that you can get notifications for all future videos. They come out on Friday. See you soon.